All right, let's jump right in. Today we're going to explore how language can give us this amazing peek into another culture. We'll be looking at some fascinating Finnish sayings and seeing what they can tell us about a different way of looking at the world.
So we all know this one, right? It's that classic phrase we use when someone's blowing a small problem way out of proportion. But what if it wasn't a molehill? What if the animal wasn't a mole, but something even smaller?
And there you have it. The Finnish version is "don't make a bull out of a fly." I mean, how great is that? It's the exact same idea, but the image it creates is just so much more epic. This is exactly the kind of cool comparison we're going to be looking at.
So this saying is the perfect way to kick things off. It's a concept we all get, but with a totally unique Finnish spin. So let's actually take a look at how the phrase is put together.
Okay, so let's build it up. The phrase actually starts with the fly. In Finnish, from a fly is karpesesta. Why don't you try saying that? Ready? Karpesesta. Nice.
And here's the whole shebang. Ei pidä tehdä kärpäsestä härkää. See? The idea is totally universal, but the picture it paints is just so different. Let's try the whole thing. Ei pidä tehdä kärpäsestä härkää.
Okay, so sticking with the animal theme for a bit, you'll notice that animals pop up all the time in Finnish wisdom, but often in these really specific, culturally important ways. Here's another classic we all know. It's all about the value of having something for sure versus just the possibility of getting more. It's just fundamental advice. So, how do the Finns put it?
And this is where it gets really cool. The Finnish version doesn't just say a bird. Nope. They name the exact bird, the pui, which is a hazel grouse. This little detail really grounds the saying in its own local environment. It adds this amazing cultural flavor.
And this breaks it down perfectly. Let's try it in two chunks. First part, say it with me, parempi pui pivossa. And the second half, kuin 10 oksalla. So all together, better a grouse in the grass than 10 on the branch. Love it!
You know, sometimes the sayings are almost identical. A barking dog doesn't bite translates pretty much word for word into hakuva quera e pure. It's this shared piece of wisdom that all talk is cheap. Go on, give it a try. Hakuva quera e pure.
So, beyond just the fun imagery, these sayings can actually give us a little peek under the hood at how the Finnish language itself works.
Think about this one. It's so simple, but so powerful. Trust what's right in front of your eyes. In English, we use that ing ending to turn verbs like see and believe into concepts, into nouns. Well, Finnish has a really neat trick for that too.
And here it is. It's the suffix minen. It's this super handy little tool that lets you talk about the act of doing something. So the verb nähdä, which means to see, becomes the noun näkeminen, the act of seeing. Pretty clever, right?
And that gives us the full phrase, näkeminen on uskomista. You can see that minen ending right there on the first word. The second word, uskomista, also comes from a verb, but it uses a different ending, which we're going to touch on next. It's like a perfect little grammatical package. Let's try saying it. Näkeminen on uskomista.
So that other ending is part of something called the partitive case, which is a huge deal in Finnish grammar. You see it pop up all the time for actions that are ongoing or incomplete. Take the saying, no one can serve two masters. That act of serving isn't a one-time thing, it's a process, which is the perfect situation to use the partitive.
So you don't just serve two masters, you serve kahta herraa. That little A sound at the end of both words is the signal for the partitive case. It's a tiny detail, but it's woven right into the fabric of the language. Give it a shot. Kahta herraa.
All right, so we've seen animals, we've dabbled in a little grammar. Now let's get into the deeper stuff. These next few sayings really get to the heart of some core philosophies about life, power, and even money.
I absolutely love this comparison. The English version, where there is a will, there is a way, is about finding a path, a process. But the Finnish, tahto on voima, bam! It's a direct statement of fact. Will is power. It's just so much more concise and potent. And you see that same kind of vibe here. English says money begets money, which is pretty transactional. But the Finnish version, raha tulee rahan luokse, feels more poetic. It's like money is alive. It's actively drawn to itself, almost like it has a will of its own.
And for our last one, wow. This is their version of people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. But instead of houses and stones, the Finnish saying paints this incredibly direct, almost brutally honest picture.
Se joka sulkee ylöspäin, se putoaa kasvoille. The consequence of your own negative action comes right back to you. There is no way to misunderstand that.
So, after our quick tour through bulls and grouse and grammar, what's the big takeaway here? Well, it's that the words we use, the sayings we repeat, they really do shape the way we see our worlds.
When you think about it, it really boils down to three things. First, every language is like a unique pair of glasses for looking at the world. Second, the literal meanings can be really funny. I mean, a bull from a fly. But they're also super insightful. And finally, all of this shows that while we humans share these deep, universal truths, the ways we find to express them are just endlessly, wonderfully different.
And that kind of leaves us with one last question to chew on. Our languages, whether it's English or Finnish or anything else, are just packed with history and humor and philosophy. So take a second to think about it. What hidden stories are waiting inside the words that you use every single day?